Greetings, a miracle in motion. Here's a spontaneous outpour of thoughts and insights, maybe not insights, but feelings about the times we are living in. These are indeed challenging times. I just got back from 2 weeks in Mexico. Me and my queen spent 2 weeks in Mexico visiting sacred sites and reliving memories from previous lives and so on. And now I'm back in Sweden. Snowstorm, many degrees below zero, and the contrast is intense, not just regarding the weather, but in frequency. And I realize that Sweden, there's a totally different energy in Sweden compared to Mexico. And I don't know why I was born here. There is probably a reason to it, which I have yet to discover. But anyway, these are challenging times, and these are glorious times because we are awakening not just as individuals, but as a species. Humanity is awakening. And there are many prophecies that speak about these times. And we are flooded with information from many sources, and most of it is, as I see it, distractions, as Greg Braden puts it. Distractions, and really irrelevant if it's even true. And how do you discern from necessary or generative information in this massive inpour? Well, to me, I've always been very intuitive, or I have felt things even as a kid, which was very confusing because I could feel something and the person said one thing and acted in another way. So it was confusing growing up, being very empathic and intuitive. Anyway, if I hear information, I don't watch the news, by the way. I haven't watched the news for many years. But if I happen to see a video, or if I see something on the web or on a headline or something, if it gives me a bad feeling or a feeling of uneasiness, or if I feel less, if I feel my power diminish, if I feel constricted by this information, I usually just disregard it. I disregard it. I feel this is not for me. This is not important for me to know. Because usually if we eat something that makes us feel bad, we usually don't eat it again. That's a natural. Or if we watch a really bad movie, we don't watch it again and again and again. And I believe, I feel, I sense that the same principle should be applied to information. If we watch something, if we choose to take in information that makes us feel bad, that makes us feel smaller, that lessens our power, we probably should avoid it. Then, of course, there are information that is important, and usually another way to discern unnecessary information from necessary information is, does this help me? Can I do anything about it? If someone informs me, okay, there's a storm, there's a tree over the road to somewhere, that is concrete, practical information I can use. I can use that information, and it makes me more informed. It increases my ability to act accordingly, and it gives me more power. I feel an expansion. So information that enlightens me or makes me feel more expanded, that's probably good information. And information that makes me worry, that makes me afraid, that makes me feel powerless, I should probably avoid it. And what about this awakening? There's a wake movement. There's a lot of talk about wake and awakening and whatnot. And to me, awakening is a natural process. I recorded another video, awakenings like a seed bursting. And the old reality is like the husk of the seed. And through an awakening, during an awakening, this seed breaks and the old reality falls away. Can be a job, can be a relationship, can be the place you're living, can be friends, can be whatever. Everything falls away because the old reality is no longer relevant. And there's nothing wrong with the old reality, like there's nothing wrong with the husk of a seed, because the husk of a seed served its purpose. It protected the truth inside. And many people say, oh, I hate my blockages. I hate my, I want to get rid of my blockages. I hate my blockages. But everything exists with a purpose until it's time for them to fall away. And I often ask my, I call them my guides, my interdimensional team. Okay, what are we moving towards? What is this new world? What is this? How is it going to be? And the answer I usually get is that first, be in the now, because it's only in the now that change can happen. If you focus too much on the future, you're not in the now, and you may actually create or give energy to a timeline that is restricting. Anyway, the metaphor they usually give me is the caterpillar that turns into a butterfly. The caterpillar can't imagine what it is to be a butterfly. It is not within its reality. And it's the same with us during an awakening and the awakening of humanity. The awakening of humanity to the unlimited edition. Not the limited edition, but the unlimited edition. Well, I'm having trouble saying unlimited. Humanity, the unlimited edition. The caterpillar suddenly one day feels it's time to go into a cocoon. It doesn't know why, it doesn't know when. It is simply time. And the thing is, I learned this not too long ago, the cells of the caterpillar actually resists this transmutation. It's not like it's willingly going into a cocoon to transform into something it has no idea about what it is. So the cells of the caterpillar actually resists this transmutation, which is the same, of course, in us and in humanity at large. But then eventually this cocoon, and this is also part of an awakening, this cocoon state, this cocoon phase, because you may feel this intense loneliness. I call it cosmic loneliness. I've never been so alone in my life. It was this total emptiness because I was between two realities, two modes of existence. It was a terrifying time. It was, I even started thinking about what is the purpose of being alive. I wasn't suicidal. I'm too curious for that. But this is what's happening. So awakening, as I see it, and as I've been told, is a natural process. There's nothing we need to force into happening, and it's also nothing we can really stop, even if there are forces that, of course, want to distract us from our divinity, as Greg Braden puts it. We need to allow ourselves to remember our divinity, our infinite powers, our infinite healing powers, our infinite powers to change the physical reality with our thought. And to me now, I'm in this transition state, I feel. 2 weeks in Mexico changed me and my queen in more ways than we are aware of at this time. And I feel something inside me stirring, something that wants to break free. But I also have learned through trial and error, and it took me quite a few years to truly embrace and accept the gift in this immense life hack, and that life hack is surrender. And surrender is the opposite of giving up. Surrender isn't just, okay, I give up. Surrender is acceptance. Giving up is, in a way, not accepting and resigning in a way. So surrender, if I feel something, I try to feel even more. If I have a uneasiness or worry, I try to be even more worry. Because as I see it, or my experience is this, that's the only way to move through a feeling, because the exit in a feeling and the exit of an emotion is in its center. And many people say, I believe, that one thought creates emotions. So if you think in a certain way, you feel in a certain way, and then you should change your thoughts. But now I adhere to the idea that one emotion can create thousands of thoughts. And when I surrender to the emotion, all the thoughts connected to that emotion disappears. And it truly works. I used to be a man that thought worry was responsible. If I'm not worried about things, I just don't give a shit. So I was worried for many, many years. And then eventually I got fed up with being worried, because I realized worry doesn't change anything. You can be aware of things, but you don't have to worry about things that usually never happens. And I'm also endowed with a very vivid imagination. So you can imagine worry combined with a vivid imagination can create all kinds of plausible or not so plausible scenarios. Anyway, so I let this worry fill me. Every time I felt worry, I tried to feel even more worry. And eventually the worry subsided. And now I'm almost surprised when I feel worry. But then again, I realized I have to substitute worry with something, because when the worry disappears, of course, there's emptiness, and the universe doesn't like emptiness. So I replaced it with curiosity. So now I'm more curious. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder how this will pan out. I wonder what will happen, how this will be solved. Because everything I've realized, if I go back and connect the dots in my life, I realized even the worst things was actually a gift. Because there seems to be a gift in every situation. And the gift is at the center of the situation, the emotion. Well, that's how I see it. You can play with this if you want. But if you feel something uncomfortable, just try to feel even more of it. Because usually when we surrender and we stop fighting, it's usually the resistance that causes us pain or discomfort. And Another personal note, me and my queen visited Chichen Itza. It's a sacred pyramid in Mexico. And there was also some sort of football field there. They play this game of football, or, well, some sort of football. And the thing is, the winning team, the team leader of the winning team, was sacrificed. So winning meant being sacrificed because they sacrificed the best. Well, this one theory anyway. But when I was standing at this football field, I started crying actually, because there was an old memory. For some reason, I seemed to have been the team leader of a team that won. And I remember the feeling of seeing, I knew the ball was going to hit this. They had these rings high up on a mount, on the wall, and the ball should pass some kind of ancient form of basketball. But the rings were like this, not like this. So I felt this mixture of pride and sadness. Also, it seems me and my queen had a previous life there, and by winning, I knew I would be sacrificed, and I would also not be able to walk on in life with her in that life. And how did this influence my current life? Well, I have never really wanted to win anything. And I hate football. I don't like to play it, and I don't like to watch it. And also, I have really, really avoided winning, because I had this deep memory of winning meaning something really bad, death. So that was interesting to be able to release and unravel. Maybe that's not the word, but there was an intense recollection and opening of a blockage in one of my previous lives. If you believe in reincarnation, which I do at the moment, I might change my mind, because truth is also changing. And awakening has also to do with expressing your unique truth. That's what happens when a seed bursts. When a seed husk bursts, the DNA in the seed is activated, and the truth can be expressed. Because it's through the DNA. The DNA is an antenna, and it connects to the data storage relating to that specific plant or animal or humans. And as Greg Braden puts it, our DNA is an antenna to our divinity. But again, I am still in this re-entry phase from Mexico to Sweden, and the contrast is quite intense, both vibrationally speaking, energetically speaking, weather. And tomorrow I'm going back to my day job, which is also an interesting experience, I believe, because several times in my life I have simply quit jobs. I'm not saying I'm going to quit my current employment, but I have outgrown several of my employments. I remember one, I was working at a law firm, And it felt like every day felt like a little suicide. Going to work felt like a little suicide. So every day I lost some of my life force until the day came I realized, okay, it's a matter of life or death. So I quit, to the surprise of my employer, I might add. And important in this respect is to say that it just because you outgrow a situation doesn't mean the situation is wrong or bad in any way. Because good or bad is also part of this dichotomy that cuts us off from the divinity. Judgment. We can evaluate. We evaluate all the time. Is the coffee cold or warm? What's the temperature? What clothes should I put on? So we evaluate, but we don't necessarily need to judge it morally. Anyway, just because you have outgrown a situation doesn't mean it's bad. Like the womb, you outgrow the womb. Doesn't mean there's not something wrong with the womb. Or if you had a really nice jacket when you were a kid, the jacket may be perfect, but you're too big for it. You have outgrown the jacket. And that's also something about surrender. We need to surrender to expansion as well, not just uncomfortable feelings, but surrender to expansion, surrender to our divinity, surrender to our truth, surrender to pleasure, enjoyment, bliss, happiness, health. Surrender means letting life flow through you in all its splendor and power. The purpose of this video is unclear even to me, and if you have managed to watch this far, I hope there was something someone needed to hear. And I will continue recording videos and doing lives because I feel it's time to be more of what we are. And my not idol, but something that expresses a modus operandi which I find appealing is the sun. Because the sun just shines. It does its thing, it shines. It doesn't care about likes or it's beyond praise or blame. It just shines. And I think that's what we are here to do as well. To shine our unique light, because we are lenses through which source can shine its unique light into this earth. And earth itself, that's my current view anyway, is the manifested dream of a goddess, Gaia Sophia. So when you're walking on earth, you are treading on a living, infinitely wise being. And there are talks about Gaia's correction, the split between man and woman that occurred a very long time ago. And yeah, these are indeed challenging and glorious times, but I am happy to be alive right now on Earth. And we will see so much in our lifetime beyond our imagination. And love, whatever that is, I see love as the very core of creation, the force, no, not the force, the power that makes creation possible, the glue that holds creation together. And the only thing that really can take us over this rainbow bridge to new earth. Like I said, maybe someone needed to hear this. And from Sweden, with all the love that I can let flow through me at this time, I truly wish you and your loved ones all the best. And shine on, and be what you came here to be, and do what you came here to do. And it's only through being that we can actually step into doing, because we need to be before we can do. It's called human being, not human doing. And even if it's called the human race, it's not a competition, it's not a race in that aspect. Okay. With love, all the best.